Joining us on the dais is the advancing team from the first national semifinal, Babson College, with an overall record of 30-2. The gentlemen here are number 21, Nick Comenale, number 32, Joey Flannery, number 34, Isaiah Nelsen, and head coach, Stephen Brennan. Coach Brennan, I'll open it up to you to share some of your comments.
Well, we had them right where we wanted them, down 25. I'm sure you all thought we were going to be here in the first press conference. So, obviously, you know, Whitman came ready to play, and their style of play was outstanding in the first, I'd say 16 minutes of the game. I think that they imposed their will upon us. I thought we got sped up, and we had 11 turnovers in the first half, but we shot like 57%. So, at halftime we talked about the fact that we needed to take care of the ball, but continue to share the ball because we had 11 assists on 18 field goals. And I think the biggest thing for us was, we got sped up, we didn't play defense the way we're capable, and as the period went on, it reminded me a lot of playing against MIT. Not necessarily the pressing, but we were down 19 MIT and 16 MIT and came back in those games and won. So we knew if we could get it within a reasonable number that there was a lot of basketball to be played. And so it was a situation where at halftime, we have great halftime talks, and most of them don't involve me. Most of them involve our players talking to each other, and it's these guys who do a tremendous job with that. In the second half, we did what we do. We held them to 34 points. They weren't making the threes that they made, and I'll be honest with you, we've gotten everybody's best shot in a lot of first halves. We've seen a lot of threes go up and in the first half of a lot of games this year because people wanted a piece of us when we were number one. And, to these guys' credit, the toughness that they bring every day, the commitment to one another, and the commitment to what we do was outstanding. So very proud of their effort, and, we really scored the ball, really from the 4-minute mark of the first half into the second half. I think the lead ended up getting up by 12 or 14, and then I think we kind of held on a little bit and played not to lose and got caught up in the clock down the stretch. But, we made enough plays, and, once again, Charlie Rice, he's our company guy, and he makes the blue-collar plays. He was a beast on the backboards, and the offensive rebound he got to earn himself a free throw, 2 free throws down the stretch, was really the difference between them potentially making a comeback and us, finishing them off and winning the game. So, to beat a team that was 31-0 is obviously quite an achievement. But, as these guys know, as exciting as that was, we would like to get something done tomorrow too. We're not here just to play one game, we're here to play 2, and that's how we believed it, and that's what happened tonight, and hopefully we'll be gassed up, juiced, and find a way to play well tomorrow.
Okay, we are streaming this press conference, so we ask that you raise your hand, and Megan will bring you the microphone.
Yes, Coach, you're sitting down 45-20, and then all of a sudden, you guys finished the half by making 10 of your last 13 shots. How were you able to throw the switch and get that done?
I think that you got to know it's a multiple possession game when you play Whitman. They play a ton of possessions because of how their style of play. And we're always telling our guys not to play to the score. And I thought we played to the score for the first 12 minutes of the game. I thought we got emotionally tied, and we were living and dying with our misses and got sped up. And, we were 10 for 12. Well, last week we scored, scored 19, I think it was 10 of 12 from the floor in the first half against Keene State too. When we start making shots, especially around the rim, it just kind of makes it bigger, and you'd have to ask them how big the rim looked at that point. But when Joey starts making threes and Nick's making threes, good things happen for us. But ultimately, Isaiah was a huge 2-point shot maker, and I thought that they didn't really have an answer for him, and he was our consistent scorer throughout the drought early, and then the other guys picked it up and did a great job. So probably not the best answer, but it's the only one I have in the moment.
Right here.
Joey, you guys have been down a lot this year and come back from big deficits. You looked a little rattled towards the beginning. I know you never say you will, but what did you guys have to do to get your head back in there and make that comeback?
I think we just had to defend. They came out hot. They came out flying around. We didn't handle their press well early, but we've been down all year. We're used to that. I didn't even realize we were down 25 until that. I looked up at the scoreboard at half, and we were down 4. That's right where we wanted to be.
Great, gentleman here in the front row.
Joey, it's kind of a two-part question. One, how would you describe Whitman's defensive pressure and what you saw from them? And then two, how specifically did you guys adjust? Coach mentioned they had you sped up. What did you do to gear down and play Babson basketball?
Hectic, I'd say that's how I describe it. They all have really good hands. They read the passing lanes well. So, we had to space it out a little bit. We had too many guys up in the front court in the first half, I thought. We had to space it out and make it a little bit tougher for them, to close those gaps on some of our passes. But I think we hunkered down and played some defense, enabled us to enjoy on offense really in the second half and on that run we made. So.
Right here in the front row.
Nick, congratulations on the win tonight. And no matter how good your team is, and yours is obviously outstanding, when you're down 25, you're in big trouble. And so you needed points in bundles, and you had to thread some real needles early in that comeback where you had just a split second to let go an open three, and you were able to hit those big shots that gave the offense the shots in the arm. How were you able to respond with so many things going against you at that time?
Yeah, I think early we didn't take care of the ball well, myself included. We were kind of throwing it all over the gym. So once we got back to our original game plan with beating the press and keeping only 2 guys in the front court, Chris Lowry, 9 assists, only 2 turnovers. He did a great job finding people. So when we just started taking care of the ball, the shots came because they were so aggressive. So we had numbers on the other end, and we started making shots, and that's what really fueled the comeback.
So Isaiah, you were taking quite a beating in the first half there. What did it mean for Charlie to be able to come back in? He got a double-double in the second half to kind of give you some support down low.
Charlie's an absolute beast. He had 5 offensive rebounds throughout the game. He just plays so hard all the time. He'll do whatever we ask him to. He guards 1 to 4, rebounds, and he was finishing the ball down low. Just an absolutely great effort out of Charlie Rice.
Right here in front.
Yes, any of you players, we're sitting there 45-20. Shocked or in any way or what? I mean, or is this just routine for you guys? I mean, hey, we got them right where we want them or what?
I'd say it's a routine at this point. It's kind of part of everyday life. No, it wasn't great. But this team never loses hope. We have great, senior leadership. Our juniors are great. Everyone across the board. We just look at each other. We have confidence. Even down 25. I'm sure you guys didn't think we had confidence, but we honestly did. We had to chip away. I said, let's get it down to 15 at one point. And I looked up and it was down to 8 or 9. I was like, oh, we'll take that. So we got down to 4 at half, and we knew we were winning at that point.
Did you tell the look on their faces when you guys you thought you had them put away?
Yeah, they looked like they thought it was over. They were looking in the crowd to see where the next team was, but we never go away. And talk about teams playing to win versus playing not to win. We played to win, and I would say at points, they got a little complacent and didn't play to win, didn't have that killer mentality in the second half.
One more, just looking ahead now, you're looking at the title game where all the marbles are. You guys come this far, I know you want to get it done.
Yeah, we're excited. 2 formidable opponents playing in this game. We'll see what it's going to be, but we'll be ready, and I don't think we're going to go down 25 in the first half tomorrow.
Speaking of opponents tomorrow, do you guys, the fans out there were chanting, "We want Augie." Do you guys, any upperclassmen remember the game from a couple years ago? Are you looking at that? Would you rather play them as opposed to, anyone else in the title?
I don't think it matters. I don't think we're thinking like that. Williams, a little more recognizable from our region. They're playing really well. But obviously we lost to Augustana, so it'd be nice to get them back. So we'll see who it is, but either way, both teams are really good. I know that. So,
Coach, along those same lines, how can a game like this affect tomorrow night's performance and effort, what you get out of the kids?
Yeah, we talked about it, afterwards. As much as you want to jump around and be excited about what just happened, it's a really quick turnaround, and so it's really important these guys take care of their bodies. And I think the big thing is the emotional capital that you invest in a comeback is always a question mark as to whether you can ratchet it back up. But I have great faith. We've been in this situation before in terms of playing back-to-back, and we've been pretty successful in it. And ultimately, these 6 seniors that we have deserve everything they get, and hopefully they'll be tough enough to earn it again.
One final question up here in the front.
Thanks. I just want to ask Isaiah, it seemed like the game plan was to go to you a lot early, and you were getting the ball pretty consistently on the baseline, just weren't getting the finishes. Then, of course, they had to go away from you because you needed so many threes to get back in. But then once it was even again, they started finding you again, and the results were a lot better. Both you and Chuck were getting it done with those in-close shots that were contested. What was the big difference between, say, those first 5 to 8 minutes and then everything you did in the second half?
I mean, it's kind of like what I've been saying this whole NCAA tournament run. These two draw so much attention on the perimeter. Everyone's so focused on stopping Joey, stopping Nicky. So that just gives me a one-on-one in the post. And it's tough to guard someone one-on-one in the post, and that's how I was able to get some good looks late there in the second half. And then, like you said, in the first half, Nicky and Joey kind of took over the game.
Okay, we have one last question.
Coach, I'll just ask, did Joey ask to be switched over to Howell at some point? How did that decision get made?
Well, we play 4 guards usually, so he just takes whoever. I think the biggest change that we made was we tried to switch the low flat ball screen because they set it around the foul line, which gives him the space to get to the rim. And so in the first half, we tried to switch it, and to his credit, he did a great job either scoring it or getting someone else a shot. So with probably about 4 minutes left, we started going underneath that ball screen because he had, he made a 3, but that isn't his game. His game is to score 8 feet and in. So I think that was a big change for us because it didn't put, Isaiah in a really tough position. I think Joey's willing to take anybody, and he's one of our best defenders. And but it's one of those things where when we switch 4 guards, everybody gets a shot at that guy.
Okay, Nick, Joey, Isaiah, Coach Brennan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Please.